Welcome to today's video. My name is Jesse Malin and I help you make your best relationship. In today's video, I specifically wanted to talk about and share my ideas on exactly what love is. And think about that. What is love? Now, you've probably felt it before or you've seen it in other people. But if you were to teach someone that had never felt love what love was, how would you describe it to them? So I wondered what other people's definitions of love was, and so in finding out their answers, what I did is I went on Facebook, I put a post, what is your definition of love? Give me what love is to you. And a lot of people gave me a lot of different examples or definitions of love, and I printed them out, and I wanted to read a couple of them to you. So someone said, love is giving without a need to receive. Love is grief preserving. From WandaVision. I haven't watched that myself. Love in itself is a sincere concern towards someone or something else where you put others' needs above your wants. 3 more here. Love is giving someone the biggest slice of cake. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. Love to me is action. Showing someone you love them by doing things for them, things that they need done and that they have asked for, things that are in their needs pile and sometimes in their want pile. And last one here, love is being committed to the highest and best success of a person. And those are great. I think those are great definitions of love. A lot of other people, they said that love was God, or we're in this Western world and Christianity is a very dominant religion. So a lot of people, they shared pictures of Jesus Christ holding children or things like that. Jesus is love. And so what I did is I came up with a list of my own, and I won't read you the whole thing, maybe just like 10 or 11 items of what love is, but it is very vast. And given the comments that I've been given, my own life experience, things like that, I've made this compilation of what love is. I said, love is a feeling. Love is an action. Love involves others. Love involves yourself. Love comes in different forms, like maybe the way you love your mom and dad is not the same way you love your spouse or kids, or maybe your coworkers, right? But also on the flip side of that love also shares similar attributes among others, like you may love other people, your spouse, your kids, your coworkers, like you love your mom and dad. There may be some similar aspects there. Love is yearning, love is serving, love is romantic, and love is compassion. Love is sacrificing yourself for others, and the list goes on and on. The list goes on. Love is a huge thing. It seems to encompass so much stuff. So, I know I'm just sharing a bunch of lists today, but I specifically wanted to share some ideas of what other people in other parts of the world think love is. And then after I share those ideas, I want to give you my definition of love, of what love is, and see if that helps improve your definition of love, helps it make it easier for you to duplicate this feeling, this wonderful gift that we can have in life. And so with that in mind, I've taken a lot of different religions, a lot of other philosophical people, and what they say about love and what love is. And one of them's Alan Watts. I watched a recording of where Alan Watts was talking about love, and this is what he says. He says that love is giving yourself up. It is an act of surrender to another person. To give oneself up is madness. And then he says that to give oneself up is madness. And then at the end he says, in madness lies sanity. And that kind of makes sense in a strange way. Like, who wants to surrender themselves to anyone? But in love, we all do. In the Bible, 1 John, chapter 4, verse 8 and 16. Verse 8 says, he that loveth not knoweth not God, for God is love. And then in verse 16, about halfway through, it says, God is love, and he that dwelleth in love dwelleth in God, and God in him. Very cool. In the Vedas, the Yajur Veda, it says, the one who loves all intensely begins perceiving in all living beings a part of himself. He becomes a lover of all, a part and parcel of the universal joy. He flows with the stream of happiness and is enriched by each soul. That's really deep there. I like that. In the Rig Veda, it says, The human body is the temple of God. One who kindles the light of awareness within gets true light. The sacred flame of your inner shrine is constantly bright. The experience of unity is the fulfillment of human endeavors, and the mysteries of life are revealed. Very good. I think that's Hindu. Now, I apologize if I get that wrong. I'm in the western states, and they go by the Church of Jesus Christ now, but a lot of people know them as Mormons. In their book, it's called the Book of Mormon. There's a prophet there that's his name is Moroni, and he says this about love, and it's pretty long, but he gives a good definition. He says, and charity, and charity's his word for love. So, and charity suffereth long, and is kind, and envieth not, is not puffed up, seeketh not her own, is not easily provoked, thinketh no evil, rejoiceth not in iniquity, but rejoiceth in the truth. It beareth all things, believeth all things, hopeth all things, endureth all things. And then he goes on to say this, wherefore, my beloved brethren, if ye have not charity, or this love, ye are nothing, for charity never faileth. Wherefore cleave unto charity, which is the greatest of all, for all things must fail. But charity is the pure love of Christ, and it endureth forever. And whoso is found possessed of it at the last day, it shall be well with him. And that's his definition right there. As recorded by Rumi, and he's part of the Islamic religion there, he says, your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. And then I just have two more. This is from Ahmed al-Shugari, and hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, who's also a Muslim. He says, the man dreams of a perfect woman, and the woman dreams of a perfect man, and they don't know that Allah created them to perfect one another. Well, that's amazing. I think that's just beautiful there. And the last one, this is from the Taoist Lao Tzu. He says, being deeply loved by someone gives you strength, while loving someone deeply gives you courage. And so there's all these ideas about love. You know, what I've asked other people on my Facebook list, a list of characteristics or aspects that I wrote on love, and what all of these philosophical speakers, these religious leaders, spiritual leaders around the world, they're all saying a lot of different things about love. And you think, okay, well, what in the world is love? And what I've been able to boil it down to is this. Love is the accumulation of all things good. And what do I mean by good? I mean good being anything that's of a higher vibration, anything that expands your consciousness, that sets you free, that empowers you. That's what I mean by good. But love is an accumulation of all things good. And yes, it's a feeling. Yes, it's an action. But guess what? And here's kind of the core of it all. Love is being. And what do I mean by that? I simply mean this. You are love. I think at our core that each person is this feeling of love. Each person, when I talk about your core, I mean your higher self. When you learn to lay aside your limiting beliefs and you shrug off the baggage that you've picked up throughout life and you tap into or get in touch with who you really are inside, your spiritual side, this aspect of you that is full of light and is the enlightened real self, the higher self. That is love. So what is love? It's an accumulation of all good things. And can you do things? Yes, you can do things that bring more good about. You can also do the opposite. You can do things that harm other people, that harm yourself, that are destructive, that are contracting in awareness, right? You can do those things, but you can also do everything that expands awareness, that helps other people, that helps yourself, that is progressive, that is allowing growth, that promotes growth, that causes growth, right? You yourself are capable of love. This is a feeling, yes. This is also an action. And remember, if you can feel something, or when you start to think about something and start feeling it, then often is the case, you are going to start acting upon it or acting in it, right? And when you act long enough and create these habits, this is who you associate yourself with. This becomes your new identity. This becomes your being. And it goes like this. You feel it, and in the head, in the heart, you feel it, and then you do, and then you become. And so maybe you're not perfect. Sometimes we do horrible things as humanity. We do horrible things to each other. But look at it this way. If you believe in a God, or you believe in a higher power, right? Some universal intelligence that's aware of all things and that is caused everything to happen and has brought us about as humans. If God is love, like John shares in the Bible, and then we're created from God, that's not just a Christian belief, that's also a Jewish belief, that's also a Muslim belief, but that's also, like all the beliefs the world over, most people, except for maybe those who have chosen to go atheist, most people believe that they are children of God. And if God is love, then that means you are a child of God, if you will. And no, I don't have any religious affiliation in here. I'm just taking the collective accumulation of ideas from the world over. If what everyone says is true and we are children of God, then that means we are love. That means you are love. And you know, a big thing about life here is we're here to learn. I think that's a big, huge thing. People, there's a lot of religions out there that talk about reincarnation. You know, we repeat life as a different form, whether that's a bug or an animal or something like that, or reincarnation in the sense that you come back as a man or a woman and you live different timelines, etc., so you can learn certain lessons. Or if you're of the idea that, you know, we live life once and then in the next life we still learn and progress. Those are different ideas, different religious beliefs, philosophical beliefs. But you're here to learn. Regardless of what your belief is, you're here to learn. And if you're learning the lessons, then you progress, you advance, you level up, and you grow. And so if we're the children of God and we're here to learn, then we are love. We in essence are God in embryo, if you will. We are to become better. We are to become our highest and best self. And you can tap into that. Why not start here in this life? Why not start to experience love in this life? And with that, I think I'll close this YouTube video. Hopefully it has been helpful. I know it's a collection of my ideas that I've gathered from a lot of different religious beliefs, philosophical beliefs, all of those types of things. But hopefully it has been helpful for you to associate yourself with love. Because when you feel like, hey, at your core that you are love, then you are going to start living better. You are going to start, one, it will remind you if you go to do something that's negative or rude or contracting in any nature, hopefully that's a reminder that, hey, you know, this isn't who I am at my core. This is me living inauthentically, if you will. And as you learn to associate yourself with love, that is when you start to empower yourself to live authentically. That is when you start to tap into your higher self, start living as your higher self. And you can have that right now. And so with that, I hope you make your best relationship. And I bid you adieu and much love. We'll see you.